Good afternoon. Welcome to Tribune News on Q, your go-to afternoon news source, only here at the Daily Tribune. We're now live at Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Daily Tribune PH on YouTube, and the Daily Tribune Official on TikTok. For today's headlines. Transport groups plan a nationwide strike March 26th to the 27th over rising fuel costs, hitting jeepneys, UV Express, TNCs, and motorcycle taxis. Malacanang denies downplaying Middle East tensions, vows to keep goods and fuel prices stable amid rising prices. President Marcos meets 343 repatriated Filipinos from the Middle East, promising aid, medical support, and reintegration services. Middle East conflict drives oil prices up. IEA warns global economy faces serious energy risks. Petrogas cuts diesel and gasoline prices by 5 pesos per liter starting Tuesday, easing burden on motorists nationwide. Luka Doncic cleared to play for the Lakers after suspension rescinded, continuing his scoring streak. Sex Bomb Girls announced April 18 Get Out concert in Parañaque. Tickets available from 800 pesos to 7,600 pesos. Today is the 23rd of March, 2026, Monday, and I'm Eliana Lacap, bringing you today's top stories. Let's get started. Several transport groups are set to stage a nationwide strike on March 26th to 27th in protest of rising fuel prices. In a press conference, Piston National President Modi Floranda said participants will include public utility jeepneys, UV Express units, transport network vehicles, and motorcycle taxis. The groups are calling for lower fuel prices, the removal of excise taxes, and the scrapping of the oil deregulation law. The planned strike is expected to affect commuters across multiple regions nationwide. Now, Malacanang on Monday denied downplaying the impact of Middle East tensions on the Philippines, particularly amid rising oil prices. At a press briefing, Palace Press Officer Attorney Claire Castro said the government is exhausting all measures to ease the burden on affected Filipinos, stressing the situation is not being minimized. Meanwhile, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. assured the public that supplies of basic goods remain sufficient. He added the government is also exploring alternative sources of petroleum products as the fuel prices continue to rise. Now, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. on Monday met 343 Filipinos repatriated from the Middle East amid regional tensions. The group included 317 overseas Filipino workers and 26 dependents from countries such as Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar, and Bahrain. Repatriates will receive financial aid, medical support, and reintegration services to ensure their welfare. The government, through OWA and the Department of Migrant Workers, continues repatriation efforts, while DMW Secretary Hans Leo Cactac confirmed there is no deployment ban for OFWs in the region. For international news, the global economy faces a major threat as the Middle East conflict fuels a deepening energy crisis. International Energy Agency Chief Faith Birol warned that no country will be immune, citing surging oil prices and disrupted supply routes. Tensions have intensified around the Strait of Hormuz, a key passage for about 20% of global oil and gas shipments. Analysts warn the situation could trigger a crisis comparable to the oil shocks of the 1970s and the 2022 Ukraine war. For more international news, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has been reappointed as President of State Affairs, according to state media. The move came after the first session of the Supreme People's Assembly in Pyongyang, where officials are set to discuss constitutional amendments and key leadership positions. The Assembly will also review the country's 5-year economic plan and formalize party decisions into law. Observers are closely watching for possible constitutional changes, reflecting Pyongyang's stance towards South Korea. In business, Petrogas will implement a pump price rollback in more stations starting Tuesday, March the 24th. In an advisory, the company said it will cut 5 pesos per liter from both diesel and gasoline prices effective 6 a.m. The rollback expands on earlier adjustments in select Metro Manila stations and will cover multiple locations across Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. The move comes amid rising fuel prices, providing some relief to motorists in affected areas. Now, the Philippine Stock Exchange plunged on Monday, with the PSEI falling to 190.81 points, or 3.17%, to 5,827.81, while the All Shares Index dropped to 100.32 points, down 3% to 3,244.55. All sectors ended in the red, led by mining and oil, which fell by 8.57%, followed by financials at minus 3.52%. Among the most active stocks, APX and PX posted the steepest losses, down 9.14% and 10.87%, respectively, while major names like BDO, ALI, and SM also saw significant declines. Meanwhile, in sports, Slovenian star Luka Doncic has been cleared to play for the Los Angeles Lakers against the Detroit Pistons on Monday after an automatic suspension was rescinded. Doncic has received his 16th technical foul during the Lakers' win over the Orlando Magic, which normally triggers a one-game ban. The NBA reviewed the incident and rescinded technical fouls for both Doncic and Goga Bitadze. Doncic has been in sensational form, averaging 40 points per game in the Lakers' since 9 games winning streak, including a 60-point outing against Miami. And in entertainment, get ready, Sex Bomb fans. The 6th edition of the highly anticipated Sex Bomb Girls Get Out concert is set for April 18th at the SMDC Open Grounds in Parañaque City. Tickets range from 800 pesos for bronze to 7,600 pesos for SVIP seats, with sales opening Monday via SM Ticket outlets and 6 p.m. online. This marks the group's latest reunion following previous shows at the Araneta Coliseum and the MOA Arena. The Sex Bomb Girls are famed for hits like the Spaghetti Song and Halukay Ube. For this afternoon's trivia, Tribune, did you know on this day in 1775, American Revolutionary leader Patrick Henry delivered his iconic speech declaring, "Give me liberty or give me death." The address came as tensions with Britain escalated, inspiring colonists to rally for independence and marking a pivotal moment that led to the American Revolution. And for our viral story this afternoon, a video uploaded on Facebook by educator G. Marie has garnered 2.3 million views. In it, he playfully delivers a knock-knock joke to his class and eventually leaves the online meeting in response to the joke. The video made netizens laugh, with some commenting, "Literal na maglalahu." Let's watch this.
Sa ating online meeting, knock-knock. Maglala. Laho ka dyan, bakla.
And that's all for now. Join us again at 4:30 p.m. still here on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Daily Tribune PH on YouTube, and the Daily Tribune Official on TikTok. Once again, I'm Eliana Lacap, and this has been Tribune News on Q.